drug, sex, and rock and roll does not always cut it. You know, it put me in a spot where I was really sick. You know, one particular time where I had partied and met this person, and I called one of my girlfriends, you know, and told her, I'm not feeling well today, you know, and we'd always call each other and talk about our escapades. And this particular time, she said, you're not feeling well, you need to go to the doctor. And I said, hey, and I said, all right, I'll go today. And I hung up the phone and went back to sleep. Next day, she called me and she said, did you go to the doctor? How did it go? And I told her I didn't go. And I never thought my friend would ever raise her voice at me. You know, she yelled, get your ass to the doctor. I was really angry. It just the fact that she got me to go, and maybe that's part of the universe saying you need to go. Something had guided me to do this, you know, and I'm stubborn. I walked into emergency and said, hey, I need to be seen. They ran all kind of diagnostic tests on me, and you have no kidney function. I went, oh. I kept thinking, now why is it I don't have any kidney function? You know, go for it. You know, how stupid of me not to think what I was doing, you know, that I could keep getting away with it and thinking, oh, it just can't be. I hope it isn't. And I said, no kidney function. Could you check to see if I have HIV? And she then asked, and I hate this question, because being gay and then now HIV, you don't want to be judged at this point. So the question they ask is, so, do you sleep with men or women or what? That's almost a judgment question, you know? It's like, well, who do you sleep with? The other person was not knowing their status. Had they known their status and they were on medication, then I would have been protected. I was terrified of all of it. Okay, oh my God, dang, you know, you have HIV, oh my God. Then dang, you've got this kidney failure, oh my goodness. You know, are you gonna be on dialysis for the rest of your life? Then what's gonna happen to me now? You know, I told the doctors then, I said, I am not gonna do dialysis. I was so adamant, I'm not gonna do it. Months before, that February of 2007, my father had a heart attack. I had to look after everything and take care of everything. I was stressed so hard. I think that brought on a lot of the HIV more. It was a struggle watching him go through dialysis and saying, I ain't ever doing that, seeing this thing down his neck. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna go through it. So if it happens to me, I'm not gonna do it. And it happened where I'm now in this position where I've got a dialysis in question. I told them I'm not gonna do it. I saw just months ago what happened. I don't think I can do it. And they tried their best to make sure I didn't get on dialysis. They gave me tons of prednisone. It got my kidneys working again, you know, and it got it to a stage where it was acceptable, like stage 3. And then told me to take high blood pressure medication and watch my diet. So I did that for a number of years. And then this flu season came around and it just took me out. It said, okay, it's time for dialysis. So I knew it was coming, so I had them build a fistula, and that clamps off, and then they moved the artery into a vein to get the veins to grow so that they can put the larger needles inside the veins. And it's small now, so it's slowly but surely growing, but it's a slow boat to China. It hurts every time they're trying to find that little vein that's trying to grow big enough. And that's a struggle sitting down every day, is knowing that they're gonna find these large needles and put them in my arm and sit for 4 hours. I think it was 11 years of pure fright, you know, that I know this was going to happen. And now that I got onto dialysis, it seems as if, you know, that I did a good job of staving it off. I did a decade. But this is the decade and I'm starting to get older. You know, I was younger then. I think this will age me. You know, the pain, the sticking, the sitting, and I feel like I'm aging. I feel like I've advanced 5-6 years. You know, I feel like I'm in my 60s. I'm only 57, going on 58. So, I guess if there's a way to tell someone that, be careful. Know your status. And also know your kidney health on top of that. And your heart health, but your kidney health is so important. And at this point, I said, you know, I always thought, you know, oh my God, I've seen people die of this stuff, and people die of AIDS, and they come to the club all sores, and yeah, it's like, oh my God, you know, I'm not gonna live that life. I watch my friends die. I can't do it. I even said to the hospital staff, I said, how high up am I on this building, you know? And she said, oh, you're thinking about jumping? And I said, I flirted with the idea, and she said to me, she said, okay, so you don't choose when you die. And plus, if you jump off this second story, you're in a hospital, you know, and then if they revive you, then that's double hell that you're gonna be in. And I said, oh, well, that's not a good idea either. She told me only 3 pills a day, and that's it. Just take the 3 pills a day, don't miss a dose, and you'll be fine. And I've never missed a dose, and it's been 3 times a day for, God, 11 years. 10-year, 11-year vet of HIV. There's people who are 20 and 30 years that I run into and who've been through the regimen of medications, and some are in wheelchairs, some are in, you know, because some of those medications were so hard on their bodies that it just destroyed parts of their bodies just to keep them alive. So that was like a wow, you know, those are the. I think people with HIV who's had it for 20 years or more, those are veterans. Those are like real veterans. Because I come in where medicines are just wonderful. That, you know, that HIV was not even an issue. Just swallow their pill like you know, like managing diabetes, you know. It's because of what HIV can do without medication. It does create a lot of depression, you know. I felt unworthy. I felt like, now I'm diseased. Now I'm just, you know, because I was pretty, how would I say? I was pretty judgmental when I didn't have it. You know, I was like, oh, you have HIV? No, oh my God. No, you can't ever, you know. I was pretty, you know, and it clobbered me. It made me realize that, you know, it can happen to anyone, and this foolish thinking that, oh, I can play and do whatever I want to do and it'll never happen to me. Yeah, and then I want to condemn others. I've learned a large lesson. I have been humbled immensely. So, it's too easy to be judgmental when you don't have it. You know, oh, I don't want it. You know, I've had guys too, you know, I've met online, you know, and I'm open with them when it starts to get really good, and then I tell them, and then they go, well, and then they get attitude about it. It's like, and then you don't hear from them. I'm humbled. It could be anybody. I'm still trying to forgive myself. I'm really trying to forgive myself.